Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter.
Hey, beautiful people, this is Freedom Fighter, and welcome to Saturday Night Dialogues. It is Saturday, October the 25th, 2025. Folks, tonight's call is going to be, it seems like I say every Saturday, it's going to be jam-packed, but it really is, even tonight as well. I know it was. Whew. Last Saturday, my Lord, with the fireworks set off and some residual fireworks that went off out there in Dinar land. Well, there might be some more tonight, but we're going to bring these truth bombs for you. Let's get into some prayer. Thank God. Thank you, Father, for the opportunity to again be here once again before you and your people. Thank you for allowing us to be able to come together again. We ask that you allow each and every person to continue to have a sound mind, a sound heart, and a sound spirit as they make decisions based on what they are made aware of regarding this opportunity. We are grateful that you have allowed Goldilocks, Wally, myself, and the tribe to be tools, your vessels to reach the people, to help as many people as we have. We are very grateful, and we do not take it for granted. We are of the mindset that it is an honor to serve you by serving your people. So we ask that you continue to cover us and cover the people as we continue on our journeys in this amazing blessing that you have allowed us to be a part of. We do see, Father God, the ending in sight. We do see the finish line, the goal line. All we have to do is our physical bodies have to catch up with what has already occurred in the spirit world, which this is already done. So we thank you, we honor you, and we glorify you. And in your precious name, we pray. Amen. All right, folks, real quick, let's get into everything here tonight. We are going to show you in writing how the GCR is incoming. We have the receipts. Also, we're going to give you updates on the ZIM Bonds. Then we're going to touch on Vietnam and bring you the updates from Vietnam and where they are, which is they're ramping things up for the revaluation of the Vietnamese dong. Then Iraq as well. We are going to go over Iraq and their update on deleting 3 zeros. And as you all, I would imagine, are aware of, deleting 3 zeros is the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar. It is no coincidence that all of this is coming out now, but also it's no surprise. It shouldn't be a surprise to any of you because deleting of 3 zeros, for example, is something that Goldilocks has reported, and we've shown those articles last year, the year before. But because of reforms that Iraq is implementing, they're getting closer. All right, so let's get into real quick some announcements. Goldilocks QFS Dialogues Room, as you all are aware or should be aware by now, it is a read-only room. That is where for over a year we convened to bring forth Goldilocks' articles, which they're still being posted in that room. Goldilocks QFS Dialogue Room every day, but it's read only. So that is where Wiley, myself, and the tribe came every day to not only break down the articles and share the articles about Goldilocks, but also to prepare people all of the stories you've heard, the many, many, many countless stories you've heard of people that have established relationships with the actual bankers, contracts signed, debit cards received for it. Once they exchange to be able to access their funds, the relationships that they've established with the top wealth management firms that are part of the RV. All of that happened in the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room. That was training ground. All right. And for those that are listening, if you want to get that information, you are more than welcome to hit the search bar, scroll up, go back into the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room, and you have access to that same information. Unfortunately, we will not be providing you guidance. We are not there any longer like we were. Actually, when we first started the room, and I told you, She-Hulk reminded me the other day, we were 9 to 9, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week. What in the world was wrong with Freedom Fighter? Good God Almighty. Yes. And then, yeah. Wow. 9 to 9, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. dealing with, well, some goodness. All right. So then we have D's room where D drops articles from around the globe on what's happening in the banking system. Then we have the crypto finance room. Dave, Rose, Big Dog. You have questions, folks, about cryptos. That's the room. Then, of course, we have Goldilocks Global Banking News, your daily podcast, whereby we have over 80 countries that are locked in, subscribed, over 20,000 subscribers, and over 2 million views on the channel, and growing rapidly, more so than ever before. And it's an honor that finally people are receptive of the facts and the truth that's being presented. It's great. All right. So Wiley is on a flight. I see him on the call, but folks, we want to acknowledge Wiley. And as I've always said, I stand on the shoulders of 2 giants. That's Goldilocks and Wiley. All right. So, and it's an honor to play my part and serve the way I can, because those are the folks that laid the groundwork. They were the pathfinders, and then I just came along, and Wiley saw my little itty bitty talent, and back in the old room, and then Goldilocks asked me to take on the mantle when I was kicked out of the old room. So thank God. But anyway, I digress. So tonight we're going to get our peculiar Ram, our amazing, lovely, awesome young lady. And like I said, Wiley's not able to talk because he's on a flight, but he is tuning in. Peculiar Ram, are you here? Are you here? Are you here?
I am here.
How come I didn't see you? You snuck in the back door.
I was waiting on you to finish your sentence.
Okay.
The infamous
All right.
Peculiar Ram, are you here?
Yes.
I was just waiting to hear that.
Yes.
Happy Saturday.
Yes, indeed. Happy Saturday. So, folks, like I said, tonight's call, and if you have a pen, something to take notes with, folks, I would encourage you. There's going to be some information that a keyword. I'll give it to you right now. Volatility. You're going to hear that word several times, and this is directly connected to the RVGCR and what is causing currencies to move and what is going to cause currencies to revalue. We're going to show it to you tonight. This is something that Goldilocks has been sharing for a while, and now we have global firms that are saying the same thing that Goldilocks has been saying. Well, they all are, if you could be quite honest with you. But yeah, let's get into it. And also tonight, folks, we might get a little frisky, like might get a little froggy here tonight, because sometimes things just need to be what they just need to be. And it is what it is. So, you ready, young lady?
Let's go.
All right. We're going to get to, folks, the actual where it all comes from, the RV, where it comes from, how it starts, who's starting it, what creates it, what makes it happen. April the 2024, the leak from the Trump administration. The floor is yours, young lady. Currency revaluation. Go ahead.
All right. Currency revaluation is likely to be a priority for some members of a potential second Trump administration, mainly because of the viewpoint that an overvalued dollar contributes to the trade deficit, said one former Trump administration official, adding that Lighthizer and his team are the primary advocates for the approach. But weakening the dollar could have other far-reaching consequences, from sending consumer prices for imported products soaring to inviting retaliation from other countries and threatening the dollar's role as the world reserve currency, which would undermine U.S. sanctions on adversaries like Iran and Russia.
And folks, you're going to hear tonight, remember, listen, currency revival. This is the RV.
Yeah.
Currency, is it not? Because
Yeah.
you're in? It's
You're
right in black and white, folks. They're saying currency revaluation is like to be priority of the potential second Trump administration due to an overvalued dollar contributes to the trade deficit. You're going to hear this. We're going to show it to you right from international firms tonight that are telling you that this is how the GCR will occur. We're going to show it to you here in a little bit. Then the second paragraph, but weakening the dollar could have far-reaching consequences. Folks, you're going to hear this again, the weakening of the dollar. You're going to hear from international firms that are saying the global currency reset is coming. We're going to show it to you in black and white. And the articles are from this month. And they're saying because of the weakening of the dollar, and they're saying that the currency, it's in writing, currency. It's actually, the language that they use is global currency reset. Incoming. We're going to show it to you. We're not going to give you opinions. We're going to show you the facts.
That's right.
All right, young lady. Now, folks, we're going to get into Vietnam. As Goldilocks has been sharing so amazingly over the last several months, how things have been. Goldilocks shared way before anyone heard about the potential of an emerging market status upgrade by the FTSE Russell months ago. Goldilocks said this was coming, that it was necessary, that it was hopeful. Now it's happened. We're seeing the volatility and the movement in the markets. Now let's get into Vietnam, how they're getting even closer. Go ahead, young lady.
Just a note on Vietnam's market yesterday falling. It did affect their bond market. Their movement from a frontier market to an emerging market showed indicators of cracks in the system. This is a good thing. It forced regulators to come in and seal up those cracks with new mechanisms to stabilize the Vietnamese dong and put it on the path of emerging market indicators. Remember, things aren't always as they seem. This was a known event, and many traders took advantage of this dip in their system. I will be back on track soon and under new regulations for their markets, and especially their bond markets, that liquidates the Vietnamese dong. They're just tweaking the system, my friends.
So what Goldilocks is telling you folks is that the dong early this week, it devalued more. It tanked. That's by design. See, folks, when let me give you a little education. The markets, all markets, are controlled by what are called the market makers. These are the buyers and the sellers in the market who buy and sell foreign currencies daily in the trillions of dollars. Currencies going down and moving up happens every single day. It's moved. The rates, not the rates to the point where you see a massive devaluation or tanking and a massive increase. Because if that was the case, we would have been at the banks. But this is just what happens every single day. So what Goldilocks is sharing, see, Goldilocks sees what the average person doesn't see. So Goldilocks is just sharing that there was a major dip in the dong, but it was by design. Have you ever heard of the term buy low and sell high?
Yep.
So many of these people, these investors and these market makers, they tanked the dong so they can buy it low at its low value, low rates. Why? Because when it goes back up, they will make profit. That's just the name of the game. So Goldilocks is just telling you what's happening. But also it's for what's called a market correction. This is the rebalancing of the dong that needs to occur before it begins to float, before the revaluation of the dong. See, most people wouldn't have even known that the dong did this unless Goldilocks mentioned it. But Goldilocks felt it necessary to report it. There you have it. All right, next young lady, you'll be the summary.
All right.
Vietnam.
In summary,
And
while
what?
short-term volatility. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, beloved. When Peculiar Rand reads this, folks, remember the word and the term volatility. What volatility is the rapid and excessive movement of rates and values in the market. Not just Forex. All assets do this. But we're speaking specifically about the Vietnamese dong. It's going to come up later. We're going to show it to you. And why it's so important, because this volatility helps to create the movement behind the Vietnamese dong in order for it to revalue. Go ahead, young lady.
In summary, while short-term volatility persists, these reforms, coupled with the emerging market upgrade, position the dong for modest strengthening, potentially 2 to 4% appreciation in 2026 per analyst projections by mid-2026, assuming the March review passes. Vietnam's resilient fundamentals provide a buffer, but swift enforcement is key to turning this setback into a catalyst for sustainable growth.
So the reforms will get it back on track. And actually, it's not off track. This is just like Goldilocks said. This is a planned event. That's all it is. Goldilocks is just giving the details. Some may look at it and not understand it. Some may look at it and be confused, but just understand and know this is a planned event and a strategy. It happens in the market every day. Go, young lady.
As you can see, Vietnam is in process of changing its banking and market protocols to align themselves with emerging market status processes. This includes the bond market, which means they are now working on mechanisms to support and improve upon their country's currency. This will make their trades more transparent among other countries, which will bring in more demand for the Vietnamese dong.
Goldilocks says, you can see Vietnam is in process of changing its banking and market protocols to align themselves with emerging market status processes. So now, folks, that Vietnam's stock market has officially been upgraded by the FTSE Russell. They have to adjust. So for those that don't know, you may not be aware, the FTSE Russell is in the same line as NASDAQ, same line as New York Stock Exchange. The FTSE Russell is in alignment with the London Stock Exchange because the FTSE Russell, which Vietnam was just upgraded to, emerging market, the FTSE Russell is owned by the London Stock Exchange. over $16 trillion daily is traded on the FTSE Russell. Now Vietnam and the Vietnamese dong will have exposure to these markets. And as a result of that, that is why these adjustments are having to be made that Vietnam is making, because they're moving into a whole new paradigm, a whole new shift, a whole new reality. The Vietnamese dong is moving to a new reality. It will no longer exist in the old banking system under the old system's way of moving. It has to adjust. These are the adjustments that are being made now. Now, when Goldilocks says this includes the bond market, which means they are now working on mechanisms to support and improve upon the dong. It is their bonds and their stocks, which are on the stock markets, which back and supports the dong to make it strong. Not only their gold, not only their foreign currencies, but their bond markets. We're going to touch on bonds in a little bit here too. But this is not, folks, not all bonds are created equal. These are not the bonds that you think of, that you've been educated, that you've been convinced that are real bonds. No. What you've been told are bonds are not really bonds. Well, they are. They're junk bonds. These here, the bonds in the bond market of a country, are the real deal bonds. We're going to get on the other ones a little later to educate you. Go, young lady.
Not retail focused.
Oh, this is very important. What Goldilocks is sharing right here about the relationship between Ripple and the dong. See, folks, it is via XRP XRP will and only will be utilized in the new banking system for our currency exchanges to occur. That is for every currency that you hold. Every currency in the new banking system will not just only be exchanged, but all currencies in the new banking system, folks, will move, transition in and out and through the banks throughout the world through XRP. Ripple owns XRP, and there is a relationship, strategic relationship, not only with Vietnam and Ripple, but also Iraq through Temenos, Ripple partner. But here we have Goldilocks is now explaining how Ripple and the dong now have a unique relationship, which will impact the exchange rate of the Vietnamese dong. Go, young lady.
Not retail focused. Geared toward corporates, individuals won't access it directly. Yes, the Ripple G Treasury acquisition will help enable exchanges with institutional investors, wealth managers, and large corporate firms.
we gotta pay attention to this a little bit here, but it's a little bit quick, folks. So what Goldilocks is referring to is this relationship between Ripple and the dong, whereby and the bond market, now that they've been upgraded to an emerging market by the FTSE Russell, and Vietnam's bonds are now getting stronger because investors from around the world are investing in Vietnam's bonds. So Kuya Ram and all of the members, you have your relationships with your wealth management firms. They are the ones that are investing in the Vietnamese bonds, which back the Vietnamese dong. Now, and we're going to touch on a little bit and connect about these wealth managers. So Goldilocks is stating geared toward corporates. So this is what's happening behind the scenes, where the bonds are being invested in heavily by these institutional investors, by these wealth managers, which are institutional investors. It's geared towards corporates. Individuals will not access it directly because individuals are not licensed, regulated entities, folks. Goldilocks is telling you that Ripple, the relationship between Ripple, it's an acquisition partnership between Ripple and Vietnam. It will help enable exchanges with institutional investors, wealth managers, and large corporate firms. This is why Peculiar Ram, Sniper, Lady Unique, I shouldn't start naming names because there's so many of y'all. Brunette Grand, Glass Half Full, Pistol Mom, so forth and so on. There's so many of you, Zach and Amber. You all have your relationships with your wealth management firms. Why do you think you've been getting those emails, updates, and from the newsletters on what's happening in the currency markets? Because your wealth management firms are the ones behind the scenes that are investing, and they are advising you all without telling you all where you should be, what would be a good idea for people to be investing. And we're going to get on that a little bit too. And it's all in the currencies that move. So Goldilocks is telling you and showing us it's the relationships with the wealth managers. They're the ones behind the scenes, folks, moving the currencies. Good young lady. In summary,
the acquisition enables and turbocharges the Dong foreign exchange, leveraging
can you
Go ahead.
Do you mind reading that again? You might have to read a little slow. Just make sure folks understand and hear this correctly. Yeah.
Okay. In summary, the acquisition enables and turbocharges the Vietnamese Dong foreign exchange, leveraging G Treasury's robust tools with Ripple's blockchain speed for enterprises. It's a game changer for the U.S.-Vietnam business, making the Dong conversions faster, cheaper, and more integrated into treasury ops than ever before. If you're a corporate treasurer or firm with Vietnam exposure, this positions Ripple as a one-stop Forex powerhouse.
I like how Goldilocks put that.
This
positions Ripple as a one-stop shop Forex powerhouse. You see how this is like Jose Canseco or Barry Bonds with they had Dong and they just injected some steroids and then the Dong got stronger. The Ripple is like steroids to the Dong.
Facts.
It makes it more powerful, cheaper, and faster. This enables our exchanges to be instant T+0. Meaning, folks, that instant settlements. So just so that I don't want to speak over anyone. So just in case if you're not aware, whereby it would take 3 to 5 days for large transactions to settle, to clear in the banking system. Now through Ripple, large exchanges will be instant, not settled in 3 to 5 days because of the amount. That was in the old system before gold, before assets were backing in the system, before we had commodities, before we had Basel III in the banking systems where they're now compliant. Ripple allows instant settlements. The Dong, Vietnam, and the Dong, and the relationship with Ripple is now solidified. And this is right through the treasury, folks. You have to understand that this is what Goldilocks is explaining, is how the exchanges occur, how the transactions actually occur. And as you've all noticed, Goldilocks always shows you in writing from the actual sources. There will never be in my opinion talk, because that's it's very disingenuous, if you ask me. In my opinion, because what people do is they take, when someone says in my opinion, whatever comes after that, if it sounds good and feels good, they totally forget you said it's in your opinion. They just take it as fact. But when someone says in my opinion, that's actually, folks, what's called a disclaimer. It's a disclaimer so that you can never come back and say, well, you said, no, I just told you it was in my opinion. It's a disclaimer. It's a good way to tell a lie without telling you it's a lie. All they got to say is in my opinion. But it's your responsibility, the listener, it's your responsibility to do your own due diligence. It's your responsibility to not allow your emotions to get caught up in when someone says, oh, in my opinion, this is going to be a good weekend for us. Oh my God, this is it. Johnny, my favorite guru who talks about the Lord, he said his opinion. It's like when people would ask me questions in the room about, well, freedom, in your opinion, I would say, I'm not going to answer you with an opinion. I'm going to just give you the facts with the receipts to prove it. This is it, because it's very dishonest to when you have, just think about it, because when you have an audience, knowing that people will hold on to your every word, knowing if you say in my opinion, the rate is going to be X, people are going to automatically make life choices based on the rate that you said, because you said in your opinion, because people assume that because you're stating in your opinion and you're saying it because you got a platform, then what you're saying must be true. Yeah. Because people are saying, because they have high level sources and contacts, and in my opinion, people are thinking, oh, high level sources and contacts. He's saying in his opinion because that's what he knows something that I don't know. It must be true.
It must be true.
So, folks, you must protect yourselves, protect your energy. A lot of you haven't protected yourself.
Exactly.
You haven't, and we're going to get into some proof of how and why you haven't protected yourself in your investment, but you have a short window to begin protecting yourself, because I'm telling you, the people that have been on these platforms telling you, advising you, marketing to you what you should buy in their opinions and the high level sources, you don't think they're being watched on these platforms by the authorities?
Right. Yep. You gotta stop looking for a savior, guys. People always looking for someone to come and save them, you know?
Yeah. And folks, we're sharing this for you to try our best to protect you and to save some of you. Now, I know as the songs I say, there are songs out there, they don't want to be saved. But I'm not going to say the rest of the lyrics. Some people just don't want to be saved.
No.
They say it, but they don't. They want to feel good.
And they're content in their delusion.
Yeah. Now, folks, Vietnam, as you can see, partnering with Ripple, speed of exchanges, speed of the transactions, T+0. Then we're going to touch on Iraq and deleting the 3 zeros. Before that, we're going to get into showing you the facts in writing, literally telling you that the global currency reset is coming. But before that, I'm going to touch on a little something. I don't mind the fact of people, especially last Saturday, where a lot of people have begun to awaken to the facts of what they hold, meaning the investments. Yes. I got several DMs from people that were very grateful for the receipts that we showed last Saturday from the Department of the Treasury and the Office of the Inspector General, which does investigations on financial crimes, the Bank of International Settlements, the SEC, Security and Exchange Commission, the Treasury Direct. We showed these receipts. A lot of people were shaken up last Saturday on last Saturday's call. I say this with the utmost respect. I would prefer not to get DMs of people saying now how they see the facts and they want help. The help was provided in the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room for over a year. Remember, like I said on the opening of the call, we were there 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday, 6 days a week. Where in the world in Guru Fufu land did you have access to anyone like that to give you real information? And some of you that are sending the DMs, you've been a member in the room for almost a year. Now you're saying you're on step number 1 of the 8 steps. Freedom, can you please help me?
Oh, Lord.
Folks, go into the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room. Scroll up. See, that tells me if you've been in the room all this long, and now after last Saturday's call, you're like, oh my God, he don't receive, been scammed by these gurus. Now come to my DM for help. No,
That's even
I'm sorry,
worse.
but not sorry. Yes, because you were on the fence with your head in the sand over there in the Guru Fufu rooms.
Yep.
Now you want to be saved. No, folks, save yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, we're going to give you a little quick education and hopefully save some more. What we're about to share with you, and this is going to shake up the Narland, what you're about to see and what you're about to hear. It's going to hurt some feelings. If you think last week with the receipts we brought were something about yellow dragons,
Oof. Honey, you're in for a treat.
about historical bonds, German, Patelli, Ficelli, Fettuccini, bonds, all the name of these bonds, we're about to show you something else. I have a thumb drive. I have a thumb drive from 2008 when I was in the banking world. It has over maybe 100 cases, criminal cases, all related to German bonds, yellow dragon bonds, fettuccine bonds, Bocelli bonds, spaghetti bonds, all these so-called historical bonds, Chinese bonds, rainbow, polka dot bonds. If you would even know, folks, what you've gotten yourself into, what you've allowed yourself to get into, you have no idea that you've been scammed. And I will not, I will not, because the information is proprietary, but just know that we share with what we share with you from the utmost unconditional love. Because it's always just for one of you to wake up and hope to save your life and to help give you a message to turn yourself around from going down the path that you've allowed yourself to get. You can't blame the gurus. They're salesmen.
Yep.
Where there's a buyer, there's a seller. And there's even you got sellers and promoters that market these worthless pieces of paper. You got some out there that even they call themselves snakes, and you believe it? You believe what they say, and they say they're a snake?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you ate with that one, Freedom.
And it's just rampant all over Dinar land. And I'm going to say this. I see the analytics, the statistics of those people in Dinar land. 80% of people who are invested in the RBGCR are senior citizens. Folks, you are the most vulnerable to scams. I really feel sorry for many of you elderly people on fixed incomes.
Yeah.
That have bought into the lies of what are sold to you, marketed to you on a daily basis in Dinar land. But like I said a few minutes ago, these platforms are monitored and watched by law enforcement. Don't think that people, some folks, for those of you who've allowed yourselves to fall down this trap of these scams, don't look for someone to come and reimburse you or save you. Law enforcement is not going to do that. Wow. Because you willingly on your own decided you were going to be lazy and not do research. Take responsibility, take accountability, and make change. Wiley so graciously shared in the room, the Goldilocks QF Dialogues room a while ago, about ISO 4217, which is the actual list of currencies and their codes that will be a part of the RV because they're recognized in the international banking system. There is not one collectible bond, no Ficelli, no Green, no German, no ZIM. None of these collectible bonds are recognized in the banking system. That's not just my words. We've shown it to you in writing, the receipts. And we showed you last Saturday of historical bond fraud. Now it is up to you to decide if you are going to continue down this path of falling for the fake scams that you're getting scammed by your favorite intel providers, snake oil salesmen, and women, with some that put doctor in front of their names too, and all these titles and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Folks, you better, I'm telling you, I digress. We're going to get into it. And then we'll get into the GCR in writing. See, we got to do this. And I hate to do this, but no, I don't. I'm glad. I like it now. Because
don't hate it, Freedom. This is
because
righteous.
Yes, thank you for reminding me. See, and I want to thank the Weasel. I want to thank the Weasel for coming on over to the Goldilocks room and taking Goldilocks' title and information and putting it into his room, because I would have, honestly, folks, I would have never exposed this stuff about these bond scams if the Weasel didn't come and cause trouble.
Yep.
If the Weasel didn't come over and bog, see, I find it to be very spiritual. It was only in God's plan, because maybe this is a wake-up call for just one of you. But and speaking of the Weasel, real quick, I'm gonna tell you why I call a weasel the Weasel the Weasel. This says Webster's Dictionary. This is not me. This is Webster's Dictionary. Webster's Dictionary says Wolverine. The wolverine is a solitary muscular carnivore, is the largest land-dwelling member of the weasel family. That is from Webster's Dictionary. I'm not calling anyone a name. All I'm doing is telling you what Webster's Dictionary calls a wolverine is a member of the weasel family. That's why I call a wolverine a weasel.
You call me a weasel, guys. Well, now you know why.
It's just a part of the weasel family. Wolverine. Okay. Now, historical bond fraud, ladies and gentlemen. Again, from the Office of the Inspector General. Think of it. Have any of you invested in what are historical bonds that are considered a part of a fraud? Did you know? Now, next, we're going to show you, and they're going to show you another receipt of what you may have invested in, why it's not on the ISO 4217 list, why it's not recognized in the international banking system. As this says from the Office of the Inspector General, the first sentence says, scam artists are selling historical bonds to unsophisticated investors at inflated prices far exceeding their value as what, Peculiar Ram?
Collectibles.
Scam artists are selling historical bonds to unsophisticated investors at inflated prices far exceeding their value as collectibles. Do you know what a collectible is, folks? Has no intrinsic value, has no worth. A collectible is a novelty item. All it is just a collectible. Then you scroll down to the very last sentence. All these false assertions have been used to defraud investors into paying as much as $150,000 for historical bonds that regularly trade for $25. Meanwhile, people are being sold by salesmen these historical bonds for $2,000. $3,000, whatever it may be. You can go off of eBay and buy the same worthless paper for a few $100. These are not my words. This is the investigation arm of the federal government. I told you, I got a USB drive. I got a thumb drive with over 100 of cases, hundreds of cases for historical bonds, for the same collectible bonds that many of you were told to go buy because they're going to be a part of the RV. It's just a playbook that the salesmen are playing, folks. Now let's get it. Now this says, it talks about historical bonds, fraud. Scam artists are selling historical bonds to unsophisticated investors at inflated prices, far exceeding their value as collectibles. Well, what? Let's give you an example of what a collectible bond is. And then we're going to get into we're going to get into the fakeness and the phoniness and the foo-foo, the scams. Then we're going to get into what you need or what you should be investing in order to make yourself and your families wealthy in your generations to come. Now, here we go. Some folks about to be hurt.
Uh-oh.
But that is just okay. Collectibles. The U.S. Department of Treasury, Office of the Inspector General, reporting on historical bonds, reported to you that unsophisticated investors unwillingly investing in collectible bonds. Here we have from eBay a disclaimer from eBay. Uncirculated condition, item description, verified under UV light for authenticity. Condition, uncirculated condition. Quantity, one piece. What is it? 10 trillion note. $10 trillion note. Please note, this is not my words. This is the disclaimer from eBay. Please note, when Zimbabwe officially abandoned their currency on April the 12th, 2009, until now, the Zimbabwe currency are not valid. They are considered collectible novelty items only. Then it continues with some cute language saying these Zimbabwean banknotes make a great addition to any collection or an ideal gift based on its uniqueness. The disclaimer tells you it's a collectible. Now let's go back to what historical bond fraud from the Office of the Inspector General said. Scam artists are selling historical bonds to unsophisticated investors at inflated prices, far exceeding their value as collectibles. See, folks, the weasel is not the only one that is marketing various collectible bonds. He should not be excoriated and bashed and called out for being the only one. There's many of them that have been telling you the same thing, marketing the same historical bonds, which are collectibles. This is why they're not on the ISO 4217 list of financial instruments that will be included in the RV. Because collectible bonds have no intrinsic value, no value. They're worthless. Just think about this, folks. Then we're going to get into the real GCR and how you can participate in benefit. And we're going to get into Iraq and what they're doing to revalue the dinar. But just think about this, folks. Please. Anybody with a credit or debit card can go online and purchase a so-called bond to become a billionaire or trillionaire? So drug dealers, terrorists, convicted felons, criminals
anybody.
of all sorts, anybody can go and buy these instruments, these so-called bonds, and become a billionaire and a trillionaire? Do you think that is Trump that stupid? Is the government that foolish? Anybody can purchase these. Why do you think they can purchase these things?
Right.
Why do you think? Because they are worthless. Anybody has access. You got a credit or debit card, folks. You mean to tell me someone that just got out of jail for being a rapist, a murderer, can just go and buy, someone that just got out of jail for financial crime, for credit card fraud, and for scamming and scheming people, embezzlement, fraud, racketeering. They can't vote, but they can buy a bond and become a billionaire on the internet? Are you kidding me? For real, folks, come on.
Wow, when you say it like that, Freedom, it doesn't make a lick of sense.
Not at all. Why do you think these collectible bonds are not on the ISO 4217 list that Wiley so graciously shared? Doesn't exist. Anybody can go. So that means terrorists that are in our country, United States of America, can go and buy a bond on the internet and become a billion. You know how many bombs he gonna make with that?
Listen, we're gonna have him a good old time.
People, think, please get this in your head. But
yeah,
these are collectibles. Scam artists are selling historical bonds to unsophisticated investors at inflated, super fragilistic, halidocious inflated prices for exceeding their value as collectibles. We showed you even the ZIM Rim was defunct. It was demonetized in 2008, 2009. Oh, but
people will still try to argue that.
Their emotions.
It's ridiculous.
And see, and I'm going to tell you folks right now, for those of you who are angry right now, you don't want to hear this, just jump off the call now. I'll just go.
Yeah.
Don't waste your time or your energy being here. Because the truth is there's more truth coming. But if you jump out the call, you're going to miss the facts on the GCR and the Iraqi dinar, deleting 3 zeros. But it's up to you, whatever you want to do. Because this is where, folks, you need to really understand what you should be invested in or how you may want to adjust and diversify.
Yep.
It'd be the best thing for you. Instead of investing what the salesman told you to invest, even the weasel told you in his video that he only promotes what they tell him to. Well, who is they? And he's not the only one. They're all telling you ZIM's historical bond. They're all telling you Pacelli, Green, Yellow, Dragon, all these.
Beans, tomatoes. Oh, stop.
And folks, you gotta understand, like I told you last Saturday, someone goes into a bank and tries to cash a fraudulent check, they leave in handcuffs.
Yeah.
You cannot defraud the banking system and get away with it. What are you going to do? Going with a historical bond that's a collectible, and you're going to go into talking about you want to exchange, redeem, cash in?
You want a Q phone, a Q laptop too?
My Lord, folks, you have to
Please
understand.
don't.
This is not something. You can't take this lightly. I'm going to show you another reason why. Consequences of bank fraud. It's a felony conviction. Bank fraud is a felony and can lead to lengthy prison sentence and substantial fines. Asset forfeiture. See, this is where some of you thinking, oh, well, Freedom, I'm going to take my ZIM and my yellow dragons with me to my exchange with my dinar and my dong. And they're going to take it because I got dinar and dong. Folks, they're going to seize your assets. You think they're going to be desperate for it? They'll take your dong and your dinar and send you right off to jail and exchange your currency. Tell you have a nice day. You're gonna be up in prison with Big Bubba touching on your cheeks in the middle of the night, singing high notes with Frankie Beverly and Mel singing high notes because you see ignorance of the law does not allow you any mercy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can't say, but, and then they ask you, well, where did you hear about these bonds are going in some RV? And you name the guru, they're going to give you double time on your prison term for listening to these fools. Ignorance of the law is no excuse, ladies and gentlemen. It's in black and white. They're telling you these are collectibles. This is the most promoted so-called bond. And it's in writing that it's collectible. And not all these places where you buy them, not all of them disclose it. See, folks, and it's not like you can buy a real bond from one person and then he's the only one selling. It's all fraud, folks. It's not my words.
Mm-hmm.
This is from the Office of the Inspector General. And you don't think they are in these rooms watching? You don't think they are monitoring? And don't think that, for those of you gurus, you salesmen, snake oil, don't think they're not watching you. In fact, you all know they're watching you.
Yep.
If there's any feelings hurt, that's my intentions because it may wake one of you up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, speaking on, let's get into some more facts, and then we're going to get into some common sense, and then we'll get into the GCR in writing of what you all need to be investing in and get ready for and prepare for. Zimbabwe's gross domestic product, their GDP, is $44 billion. So one of you think you're going to go into a bank, a redemption center, a military base, wherever you think, a tree, a hole under a rock, and you're going to exchange, redeem, whatever term you think is appropriate, and you're going to exchange a note, and you'll have more money than the country itself? That's just one of you. Think there's hundreds of millions of people that have bought these collectible notes. So you mean to tell me hundreds of millions of people are about to bankrupt a country?
That's wild.
So then you have the richest people in the world. Elon Musk is the number one wealthiest person in the world. Top 100 richest people in the world as of 2024. Elon Musk is worth $444 billion. You mean to tell me one of you is going to become a trillionaire from a piece of paper that you bought on the internet and be richer than the richest person in the world?
You put in no work at all.
You're going to be richer than Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, the Walton family? You mean to tell me you're going to own a new Walmart from that one piece of paper?
Freedom. Miracles happen every day, Freedom.
In dreams. That's true. Come on, folks. Just see, the numbers should tell you something.
Yes.
One note, and you're going to exchange a Zimbabwe collectible bond and end up being richer than the whole country itself, times 1,000, times millions of people who think they're going to do the same thing. Let's get into the real facts. What you really... Go ahead, young lady.
Oh, nothing. I was just nothing. Scoffing.
I hope
when
this
you break
is
it down like that, it makes no sense. When you break it down like that, and I mean, unfortunately, you've said this plenty of times before, but every time you break it down like that, it just completely dismantles the narrative that these gurus are going with and that these people are believing. And like you said, at a certain point, you have to take accountability.
You must, folks. The gurus, they're just selling you what you're willing to buy.
Yep, they're
gonna keep taking it. That's why I ain't got no hard feelings. I don't blame none of them. It's wrong. It's not morally right. But you are choosing this for yourself. Don't blame the gurus. Pray for them.
Right.
Pray for them. Now, let's get into where you need to be to get ready, folks, for this blessing. Volatility. Key word. Key term. Goldilocks has written about volatility as early as 2 days ago. Increased market volatility in the Forex market, particularly following U.S. tariff announcements in April. Very important. Then, as far back as October the 10th, 2021, almost 4 years to the date, Goldilocks talks about volatility in the financial markets and how it relates to the RVGCR. Over 600 times, Goldilocks has written about volatility. Now we're going to get into how that is important and related to the GCR. Now, we're going to come to it, but let's get into the global currency reset. What's being shown in writing from the actual sources. And for those of you who are listening to this, you need to begin thinking how you can find the ISO 4217 list in the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room and get prepared. Oh, and by the way, we know that there are many trolls in the room, people in the room that have taken the ISO 4217 list and just been spreading it all over Dinar land for content. They can't explain it. They don't know what it is. They just come here to get information. They can share it and say, look, this is important. They don't know what it is.
Absolutely.
But anyway, now here we go. Directly from the Global Citizen Solutions, which is a global consulting firm, folks, that is reporting on the global currency reset. This is from October the 22nd, 2025. Just 3 days ago, Global Currency Reset explained what it means for your what, Peculiar Ram?
Wealth management.
Your wealth management. Where have you all heard to get a wealth manager from for the last year? The whole last year?
The one and only Goldilocks.
Goldilocks.
Freedom Fighter.
Wiley. Goldilocks.
Yes.
Wiley. Freedom Fighter. And the tribe. All of you tribe members. Just imagine where you're at now. how grateful I know you are, how you feel to know you are set and sorted with your relationships with your wealth managers already locked in.
Mm-hmm.
Here we have a global firm that's telling you folks the global currency reset explained, what it means for your wealth management. Then let's go. Then we're going to go to TradingView. We're going to get into this a little bit. The aftermath of a currency reset would ripple through every level of society, from governments and corporations to ordinary citizens. In fact, what we're going to do, let's go to. We're going to click the first link. We're going to go right into this. I'm going to read some of this. Is the Global Currency Reset Explained. I'm going to quickly give you some, folks, where it talks about, literally talks about the incoming global currency reset. And collectible bonds are not included, just so that you're aware. But I digress. Now, if you want to click on the link and follow, I'm going to go read it to you. Just listen, pay attention, and follow along. With global debt soaring, fiat currencies weakening, hint, hint, US dollar, and central banks systematically moving toward digital money, a growing number of investors and high net worth individuals are turning their attention to the possibility of a global currency reset. Folks, the term high net worth individuals, many of the members who've been following Goldilocks, Wiley, myself, and we've been sharing about establishing relationships with their wealth managers, those members are considered already high net worth individuals by their wealth management firms. I'll continue. This shift in the financial landscape means looking to make investment decisions that preserve and grow wealth. For those seeking security, diversification, and jurisdictional flexibility, understanding the implications of a coming global currency reset is critical. So you mean to tell me this global firm is telling you to get ready for the global currency reset?
That's
And how
exactly
critical
what
it
it
is
sounds
to have
like.
a wealth, and it's telling you what you did you need to have a wealth manager?
Mhm.
Oh, I know. For those of you who've been hearing from other channels, to get a wealth manager, where did y'all hear it first? Right here in the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room, where people have gotten direct guidance from Wiley, myself, and the tribe who have reached back to help others who have done the same thing. But I digress, and I'll continue. In this article, it says, we break down what a global currency reset could entail, who might benefit or lose, and how you can prepare through international investing. Second citizenship. This is where jurisdictional flexibility comes in, and offshore asset planning. Some of this language should sound familiar to you, right? Because you're running from your wealth management firm.
Absolutely.
And folks, it continues. These are subsections. What is the global currency reset? Who stands to benefit? How could the reset affect the US dollar and global markets? The role of gold and silver. And then, the role of the IMF, the special drawing rights, World Bank, and global institutions. How a global currency reset will impact citizenship and residency by investment. How can investors prepare for the global currency reset? I'm going to read this to you. Pay attention. A global currency reset refers to a large-scale reordering of the global monetary system in which currencies are realigned in either value or structure to better reflect the reality of current economic and geopolitical tensions. This can involve, folks, it's telling you how it's going to happen and what's involved. It can involve depegging or repegging currencies to gold, commodities, digital reserve unit. Where have you heard that from before? Goldilocks.
I wonder.
Goldilocks. The next one, shifting away from the US dollar as the world's primary reserve currency. Hold up. Didn't we just read to you from beginning?
Did we start the podcast with this?
Can you read that one more time? Go ahead and read that for us again, please, beloved. If you can scroll back up and read this again. Currency
Sure.
revaluation is like, go ahead. I memorize it, but I want you to read. Go ahead.
Currency revaluation is likely to be a priority for some members of a potential second Trump administration, mainly because of the viewpoint that an overvalued dollar contributes to the trade deficit, said one former Trump administration official, adding that Lighthizer and his team are the primary advocates for the approach. But weakening the dollar could have other
Mhm.
far-reaching consequences, from sending
That's good.
consumer prices. Okay, you want me to stop?
You're good. You're good.
Okay,
Weakening the
but
dollar.
weakening the
What
dollar.
this?
Yeah.
But weakening the dollar, folks. The global. It's telling you how the global currency crisis is going to occur. That's from the Trump administration. And what does this international consulting firm tell you? Shifting away from the U.S. dollar as the
Wow.
world's primary
World's
reserve
primary
currency,
reserve currency.
because it's getting weaker. This is telling you how the global currency reset is coming, and you need to have a wealth manager. Oh, but you've been told to wait for a notification.
A 1-800 number.
Wait
you
for
guys
a
even?
notification. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I
Prepare
was
your
saying
ready.
for the 1-800 numbers, how are they going to call you? When did you guys give your number to somebody, some stranger?
It's unbelievable. It's sad.
A lot of questions.
Mhm. Okay. It's right in black and white, folks. Now we're going to share. This is from TradingView. For those that aren't aware, I'm going to tell you what trading, if you want to know about Forex, tradingview.com. This is where all Forex traders go at the time of whenever they trade to make money. TradingView is the actual site where Forex traders go to prepare themselves before they make their trades, meaning before they buy and sell what currencies they're going to buy and sell for the day. They come right here to tradingview.com. Tradingview.com is a global. I know it because I used to trade on TradingView, because you can go there and set up your trades. Not only for Forex, for any instrument, for bonds, real bonds, US bonds, treasury bonds, any sort of bond that is connected to a real country. I'm not talking about no collectible bonds. They are not recognized in the banking system. They don't exist. I'm talking about real regulated bonds that you cannot purchase on the internet, that no terrorist with a credit card can buy on the internet. TradingView is where traders go to know. This is where the experts of all currencies and assets, the information is put here so that traders can set up their day to make money. TradingView and TradingView. Okay. So this is what TradingView says about the global currency reset. Chapter 1, the roots of the reset, how we got here. And it says, to understand why a global reset is even on the table, we must trace the evolution of the international monetary system. One being Bretton Woods. See, folks, this is where gold comes in. Number 2, the petrodollar. This is where the dollar being paid to oil purchases around the world, being the number 1 dominant currency around the world. Number 3, mounting pressures of debt, inequality, and inflation. Chapter 2, the signs of an impending reset. Folks, this is the actual source for all Forex traders that come right here. Literally, a trader can set up an account, go into TradingView, and trade foreign currencies all day, all night. I'll continue. The signs of an impending reset. The global currency system doesn't collapse overnight. It erodes slowly, then all at once. Several indicators suggest that a transformation is underway. See, folks, this is your opportunity. This is your opportunity. You are hearing from the actual source. One of the actual, in fact, Goldilocks has several of these articles from different sources saying the same thing of how the global currency reset is coming. But they all say the same thing that Goldilocks has been saying: weakening of the dollar. Same thing that Trump administration is saying. When Trump says, the Trump administration is saying the global currency, that currency revaluation is likely to be priority of the second Trump administration due to an overvalued dollar and the weakening of the dollar and through trade deficit. Number two, how the GCR is underway. Number two, central bank digital currencies. Oh my God, my privacy, folks. Don't let yourself get triggered. Number three, the gold revival. Goldilocks has been telling you about it for centuries. It says gold symbolizes wealth stability. In recent years, central banks, especially in emerging economies, have been aggressively accumulating gold reserves. Goldilocks has always said gold will set us free.
Yeah.
So, folks, think about this. Goldilocks has been telling you this. I'll continue. It says this trend signals a loss of faith in the dollar and fiat-based systems, raising speculation that gold may again anchor a future global monetary framework. Number four, the rise of multipolar economies. For those of you who have wealth managers, pay attention very closely. What I'm about to share with you in a few seconds. Number one, a gold-backed basket currency. The IMF, special drawing rights. Remember, there are 4 agencies involved overseeing the global currency reset. The IMF, the World Bank, BIS, which is the Bank of International Settlements, in the U.S. Treasury Department. The possibilities. Number 2, a digital reserve system. Number 3, regional currency blocks, meaning the world could fragment into currency blocks. So the BRICS nations can be a block. The Western nations with the EU can be a block. And for those that have wealth managers, pay attention to what this says next. Emerging market block. Focused on regional trade networks. This will create a decentralized, multi-currency global economy balancing power among regions. Emerging markets. Chapter 4, the economic earthquake affects the reset. It continues. The aftermath of a currency reset would ripple through every level of society, from governments and corporations to ordinary citizens. Number 1, national economies. Countries with massive debt, like the U.S. and Japan, could face intense restructuring. That's happening right now in the U.S. Debt may be partially wiped out. This is from the government, not from your bank account, not from you, not no Nasura, Jasura garbage. Debt may be partially wiped out or converted into new currency terms. Nations rich in commodities or gold could gain significant influence. Pay attention to this for those who have wealth managers. Emerging markets might experience a boom as the reset could rebalance trade fairness and reduce dependence on Western financial systems. What it's saying is, I'm a reword this to what it's really saying. Emerging markets might experience a boom as the reset could rebalance trade fairness. Trade. When have you heard that before? From trade. Over 3,000 times from Goldilocks. Trade. Emerging markets might experience a boom as the reset could rebalance trade fairness and reduce dependence on the U.S. dollar. That's what Western financial system is talking about. This was from October the 22nd, directly from the premier Forex site for traders who make money, trillions in foreign currencies are traded on tradingview.com every day. And
Yeah.
they are telling you to get ready for the global currency reset. And they are telling you it's coming through trade, through gold, emerging markets. And many of you who have your wealth managers, is this not Peculiar Ram, the language that you've already heard from Goldilocks and your wealth management firm?
Yep. The exact language, actually.
No make mention of collectible bonds, folks. No make mention of no military bases to go redeem your junk bonds. No make mention of high sources and contacts that told somebody that this three-day weekend, Kurdistan and budget tables and all this other foolishness. Really? You keep buying what they keep selling, you're gonna be sorry.
Exactly. And the
Now let's
sources
get
are telling you.
right in black and white. Folks, you can't say you didn't know. It's in black and white. What you choose to do with that information, it's up to you. Now let's go to Iraq and deleting the 3 zeros. Floor is yours, young lady.
Governor Ali Al-Alaq of the Central Bank of Iraq highlighted that the country's third budget involves significant expenditures and a high deficit, with ongoing coordination between the central bank and the Ministry of Finance to ensure financial stability.
Okay, hold that right there, beloved. Hold that right there. This is very important, folks. Pay attention. Listen very carefully. I want you to listen remove your emotions of what you've heard from all over Guru Fufu land. This says the governor of the Central Bank of Iraq highlighted that Iraq's third budget. This is the third part of their tripartite budget that was approved in 2023. It says their third budget involves significant expenditures and a high deficit, with ongoing coordination between the central bank and the Minister of Finance to ensure financial stability. Expenditures, folks. Their third budget involves significant expenditures, meaning money going out, what they're paying for. Bills, in layman's terms, bills. And high deficit, meaning they have more going out than they have coming in. They're in the hole, a deficit. And many of you right now, your emotions are saying, well, if they just revalue the dinar and make it all go away. You're only thinking about yourself. Mm-hmm. You're not thinking about what goes into this. Because many of you just want to know date and rate, and that's what you want to be, that's what you want to buy. So that's what the gurus are selling you, along with collectible bonds. They're going to get you see the package deal they sell you. It's a package, and you're gonna go, and you think you're gonna go. What you think you're gonna? You just gonna just escape the bank? You're gonna go to a military base to take your collectible bonds, which are considered historical bond fraud because you were scammed by the scam artist. This is what the Treasury's telling you, not me. And then you're going to take your dinar, your dong, your bolivar, all your other currencies, and you're going to figure, well, I'll be okay because they'll just go ahead and because they want my money. Really? So you think that you're going to be able to take something that is fraudulent to a military base? And many of you have been convinced also as a package that you're going to get your heart scanned too? You really need your head scanned, because
Fact.
for those of you who have allowed yourselves to get caught up in this. But let's continue on Iraq and they're deleting their 3 zeros. The governor says he also noted that the project. Oh, I'm sorry. That's your part. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Listen.
He also noted that the project to remove zeros from the Iraqi dinar is still in planning with potential developments expected soon. Now you go ahead and read this, because I want to follow back behind you. Go ahead. You can read that. Go ahead.
This initiative includes restructuring currency denominations such as the 20,000 dinar note.
See, now a lot of you, 1 second, beloved. Now a lot of you, I remember when Goldilocks shared about the deleting the 3 zeros last year and the year before, directly from Iraq. See, a lot of folks got confused, thinking that the deleting 3 zeros was from the notes. No, it's not from the notes, it's from the rates. And now brains are scrambling, trying to figure out the rates and all this and how it's done, what's done. And mainly you're the ones that have no wealth managers. Just the truth.
True.
Because you're the ones fishing for dates and rates.
Yeah.
And are you able to really, only receipts you have is for the receipts for those collectible bonds.
Facts.
And some currencies that may be on the ISO 4217 list. So I'll continue with deleting the 3 zeros, folks. This is the actual revaluation of the Iraqi dinar when Iraq deletes the 3 zeros. And I know some of you want me to go into detail about numbers and all. Nope, not doing it. We did it already in the room over a year ago.
Yep.
Not doing it. If you had a wealth manager, if you were set and sorted, structured, you would be sitting comfortably, knowing that when it happens, you're going to be blessed abundantly with wealth. But unfortunately, a lot of you missed out on the blessings of Wiley, myself, and the tribe offering ourselves up every single day for 8 to 9 hours, sometimes 10 hours a day. While many of you came into the room to lurk, to troll, to now find out a year later that you've been scammed by the same folks that told you don't come to Goldilocks room, don't do accountability. But you got a moment. You got a short window to turn us around, folks. The deleting of the 3 zeros. This is where now I want to ask you this question. If it says the governor of the central bank, this is his words, folks, pay attention. The source is saying the project to remove zeros from the Iraqi dinar is still in planning, with potential developments expected soon. So, folks, if the governor of the central bank is telling you that it is in planning, meaning that it will happen in the near future, because he's saying potential developments expected soon. If he is telling you, the source is telling you it's in the planning stages and its developments is expected soon, how is it possible? Now, let me ask you this. Let me ask the question in this way. I'm going to ask Peculiar Ram. Peculiar Ram.
Yes.
When the source, the central bank, is saying that the project to delete the zeros is in the planning stages with potential developments expected soon, doesn't that mean that soon is like in the future to come?
Yes.
So how is it that all those 3-day weekends that people were told it was happening on all those 3-day weekends, all the budget tables, understand, how is it possible when the source is saying that it's in the planning stages and it's expected soon? Can you help me to make sense of how, if the source is saying that it's expected soon for the developments of the project to delete 3 zeros. But people have been saying, gurus have been telling people for 20 years that it was happening every 3-day weekend, every holiday weekend.
Yes. A fool is most often the loudest. And these are people who think that they are bigger than the program. So they think for some reason what they say trumps what the governor is saying.
But what it is this. The same people are the same ones promoting collectible bonds. Promoting memberships, paying $25 for exclusive intel, RV questions. You see, folks, you see what you got yourself into? The source is telling you. The Central Bank of Iraq is telling you. The project to remove zeros from Iraqi dinar is still in planning, with potential developments expected soon. So you see how there was never a delay?
Exactly.
And that was just told to you because they had no other excuse to tell you why it didn't happen on that 3-day weekend, because it wasn't supposed to. It was never planned that way. It's in writing.
Man.
And just look at all of you who have been following Goldilocks, Wiley, and the tribe, myself, our dedication to you every single day, how you tribe members are prepared. And folks, when I say tribe members, I don't just mean members that you regularly hear from on the calls. I'm talking about there are tribe members that are quiet, silent, behind the scenes that say nothing. They're all still a part of the tribe. All of you are a part of the tribe. It's not an exclusive club. Well, actually, it is, but it's not exclusive for those who've taken the steps to prepare them. Yes, very true. Very true. Very true. So, folks, because there are plenty of people that we know we never heard from that are part of the tribe, that they went out and got their families sorted. They got sorted and they're safe and ready for the RV to occur for various currencies.
Amen.
But again, I'm going to repeat it again. Right from the central bank governor, who actually controls the value of the dinar is the central bank. It's not the prime minister. It's not budget tables. It's not Kurdistan oil stupid deals and all this foolishness that they telling you. Just think, the actual source is telling you deleting the 3 zeros, which is the RV, is in the planning stages with potential developments coming. He's speaking of the near future. So how is it possible, if he is telling you it's to come in the near future, that all those dates, all the excuses that you were given for why it didn't happen, now are you beginning to see it was never so? You were sold a bill of goods by the same people that have been promoting these junk collectible bonds. And oh, by the way, they told you about some truth about currencies. See, what many who are deceptive do is they will mix truth with a lie.
Yep.
But many of you unsophisticated, this is from the Treasury, not Freedom Fighter, unsophisticated investors who have been scammed by the scam artist. You have a short window. Just think, if you only go by what the Central Bank of Iraq is telling you, that the RV, which is the removing of 3 zeros, is in the planning stages, and the potential developments expected soon, and you have no relationships with the actual international firms that are a part of this, when are you going to realize, believing that you are supposed to wait on a notification? Someone's high-level sources told, someone that gave all of their opinions, their contacts, and all of these charlatans that get on each other's platforms. There were some that came when we first opened this room. Many of you don't know about it. Came and wanted to join, wanted us to align with them, be on their platforms. You see, we have not any of that
at all.
I was green to a couple of them, but She-Hulk had to put me on to who they really were. I was like, what? Let me check these people out. I said, what? Let me check them out. Look them. Nah, I ain't lying up with these people with these criminal backgrounds and felons. They got platforms. So, folks, the actual source is telling you the project to delete the zeros, which is the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar, is in the planning stages, with potential developments expected soon. I keep repeating it because sometimes you need to hear it over and over and over and over again.
Clearly, Logic, they don't mind hearing things over and over again.
No, that's very true.
20 years. Yeah.
But logic, common sense, folks. Again, if the source is telling you, you want to talk about a high level source, it don't get no higher than the central bank governor telling you what somebody's high sources, not high level, high sources, Cheech and Chong high sources, Snoop Doggy Dogg high sources telling you, you ain't got no. You better check what they've been smoking, folks.
Better check your source.
Literally telling people the same thing for 20 years. It's in writing, right in your face. Deleting of the 3 zeros. So for those of you, if you have dinar, and again, don't think you're going to be able to take your dinar, your dong, or any of the other currencies that are legitimately are going to be a part of the RV on the ISO 427 list. You go ahead and take those in there with them collectible bonds.
Please don't do that, y'all.
You will. I'm gonna tell you what. See, because it's unfortunate. Some of you folks, you hear the word bond, you think because it's called a bond. See, folks, not all bonds are created equal. You think because you hear the word bond attached to it, it must be a real instrument. No. I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna have your new address is gonna be a number on your chest. And I'm gonna tell you, the type of bond you're gonna need, the real bond you're gonna need is you're gonna need a bail bondsman, because they're gonna need to get bailed out of jail before you get sentenced, because that's a real bond. Now why? Because that bond you got to put up collateral. That's a real bond. You're gonna go to jail and get a real bond to get you out temporarily for some fake bonds. They're gonna put you in jail for a long time. Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
For those, you're gonna need a real bond, a bail bondsman. You're gonna need to put 10% to get out. You see how a real bond has collateral?
Yeah,
10% is collateral. People commit crimes, and they call aunts and relatives, uncles and family members they ain't talked to in a long time, and ask them to put up 10% to get them out. Up the houses and all kind of stuff as collateral.
They also have to sign paperwork for that, like real paperwork, real signatures.
And then if you don't pay the bond, then Tank the bounty hunter or big or the dog bounty hunter gonna come get you. Gonna come get the person for not paying the bond. They'll come kick your door down.
It's a contract.
That's a real bond, folks. If you
they gonna see.
There's no collateral for that collectible bond. Oh, what you think? You think the assets in Zimbabwe and what? That's your collateral? Again, that's gonna make you richer than Elon Musk, huh?
Oh my goodness.
I hope this made sense to somebody.
It made sense to me.
You can't make this stuff up.
No,
The prime minister is telling you it's happening in the near future. It's in process. But you've been told over how many times that it's happening. This is a delay. And then it was happening. And this is a delay. My contact said, that Trump stopped it. Oh, but then this stopped it. And this happened. And that happened. And blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right.
Man.
Okay. You got anything you want to add before we go home, or any one of our lovely tribe members that have wealth managers? This is very important that you saw this tonight from the actual trading view source, that global currency reset and what it means for your wealth management. For those who have wealth managers, if you want to raise your hand, come on, please do so, and then we're gonna get out here. For some of you, I don't know if Sniper's here, Lady Unique, or whoever you, I don't name names. If you're here, raise your hand real quick. We're gonna come to you. Sniper, Lady Unique, I see you, beautiful. Good evening, my good man. Man, I know you was all over this when you saw global currency reset and what it means to wealth management. Boy, I know you probably did a backflip in your house.
I disappeared for a minute from my little room I was in, right? I had to go check this out and sit down and read.
I know you did. I know you did. I know none of this is a surprise to you.
Didn't see anything about bonds or ZIMs. You know what I'm saying? There was nothing there about anything about that.
I know. Yep. You're not going to see anything that's not related. That's not on the ISO 4217 list. It's not going to be there.
Yeah.
I talk a lot with my wealth managers, and I send a lot of information to them. And, when we talk, we really do reach out and speak about some of the things that are happening in real time. And, these articles you just showed tonight, wait till I send them this.
Good, nice.
You know how many times they jumped at me and said, it's good to diversify and, look at different things and, really kind of just open their eyes in this direction. This article here, if you are still on the fence and thinking that bonds are going to do something, can you point out anywhere other than somebody's sources or anywhere else that says that this is going to happen? You guys are showing it in facts and writing, from institutions to banks to you name it. There's no hopium here.
Mm-mm.
We're not getting it from blogs
and actual
and
sources.
Feeds. Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah, that's a big one right there.
Yeah.
My Lord. Yeah.
And you can't do anything but appreciate it. Those of us who are looking for truth, we appreciate the wisdom. We appreciate it.
And the thing is, you all have benefited. You have your own receipts from your own relationships now with the actual bankers that are involved with the RV.
Yep. Absolutely.
Getting the feedback and getting in writing the same information that Goldilocks has been sharing. Now y'all see why they've been telling y'all don't go to the Goldilocks room. They don't know what they talking about. They just didn't want y'all to wake up.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Sniper. You're unmuted. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. You guys bring in the 5 W's: the who, the what, the when, the where, the why. And every part of what you guys are showing it's got a name attached to it, what they're doing, why they're doing it, who's doing it, and when they're doing it. Come on, guys. It's that simple.
At this point, if someone doesn't want the facts, the truth, then they just want their booty cheeks touched up in prison. So that's all I gotta say. So that's where y'all going. That's where you're gonna end up. And and prison has no discrimination. Just because you're a senior citizen, you will not be excused from committing fraud, trying to go into an institution. And you think just because of your age, it don't matter. You're young, middle-aged, elderly. It does not matter.
Yeah. Not knowing doesn't excuse you from the consequences of your actions. It doesn't. So hopefully one person took
lemonade
tonight and keep your behind out of prison. Because y'all go into those banks with those bonds. We're trying to save you guys. You have not waited this long to walk into a bank so confidently to be just turned around and be blacklisted and then put in jail.
And don't
never can experience it.
Right. See, and I know Peculiar M, some are thinking, oh, well, I'm not going to go to a bank. I'm going to a redemption center. Folks, a financial, a collectible bond, something that is a part of a scam and a scheme that the actual federal law enforcement agencies, do you think you're going to just get by? You're going to be excused because you're going to go to a redemption center with the still same fraudulent instrument? You think you're going to be excused because of a redemption center where that's just secretly going to show when the RV happens? It's just going to pop up.
Pop-up shops.
Yeah. Pop-up shops going to have orange suits and tell you, and them handcuffs, they're not going to be the handcuffs are not going to be them fur handcuffs y'all like. I said it. Go ahead, Lemonade. Not going to be the pink fur ones.
Well, good evening. How's everybody doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good evening.
You know, I just want to say a couple of things. And first of all, thank you once again, Freedom and Wiley and just the whole team for this information, because this is so educational. You know, if all people want is a rate and a date, wealth is not their life. Wealth is not their life. And this is about educating us on the processes, the players, and I did an exercise with the people that I'm sharing this information with, and I say, when I say NASDAQ, what one word comes to mind? They said stock exchange. I said McDonald's. They said low food. I said Neiman Marcus, you know, high quality. I said, so then if we're invested in this world, we have to know the names and the players and what they're identified by just hearing their name in an article. Because before this group, if I'd heard Oliver Wyman or BIS or any of those names, I wouldn't have not even paid attention to it because it wouldn't have mean anything to me.
Right.
And so because of that, one thing that happened to me real quick, I went back to my wealth manager that I'm working with. And of course, he calls my investment the mystery investment. He says, I'm just curious about this mystery investment. I said, just know it's legal, but I just can't tell you about it yet. And so he finally said, he did something that nobody has done. He said, you know what? Now, I have 2 brokers accounts with 2 other big name brokers. He says, I want to take a look at all your statements to make sure that they got your money in the right places. So I'm going to have you sign an agreement, and I'm going to give you free investment advice on your current accounts until the mystery investment comes through.
I love it. He's actually offering up his services. See, and he's not dumb. He knows what's coming. He's just not going to come out and say it just yet, but he's going to offer his services to help you until it's time.
He manages $1.3 billion in clients' portfolios. And he says, Chris, we don't deal with anybody who doesn't have at least $1 million.
But he's dealing with you.
Right.
That's awesome.
See, and that's what I was going back to the first, not to the first article, but the article from that talked about global currency reset with wealth management. It talked about high net worth individuals and how firms are getting their high net worth individuals prepared, you're considered a high net worth individual, even though you don't have, well, I don't know, but even though I expect you don't have $1 million, but you're considered a high net worth individual because of the fact that you are set and prepared with your knowledge, and he knows what's coming. That's why he's holding on to you.
I think it's because of the information that you guys have given, the steps and the questions and the knowledge that we learn every Saturday, that we learned over the last year. When I talk to him, he can sense that this guy knows something, and he's talking in a way that lets me know that whatever he's doing, whatever he has, he is not broke, and he is going into something, and I just need to just hold on to him until it happens. That's the way he's treating me, because he's like, I gotta send you an agreement to sign, because legally I'm an institutional investor, and I've got to have it in writing that I'm investing, that I'm advising you. And he said, after I advise you, you can either keep your stuff with those brokers, or you can move it all over here with me. I've already decided that I'm going to move it with him anyway, because the other ones have never given me the type of information or time that he's given me.
Right. Beautiful. And thank you for what you do. I believe it's on Sundays. You have your call with a group of 40 or some odd people. You've done an amazing job in paying it forward and helping others on Sundays with a group of 40 people. That's just, you're a blessing, just being a blessing, and we appreciate that.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
awesome.
You.
All right. Awesome. The queen herself, you could say the best for last, Miss Lady Unique. You can come on up here.
Good evening, everybody.
How you doing? How you doing, young lady?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. Just want to reiterate what you're, the receipts you putting out tonight.
Receipts.
Yeah. I will share this. My firm has sent me, they give me updates or whatever, but this last one that they gave me was dated their update for October 20th. It included emerging market graphs showing, showing the graphs. I do have I had a webinar of which they were going further into investment strategies. And in this particular presentation, it was geared for high net worth individuals. And they've been very basic, just basic. They have to watch what they say. But this one was a little bit more of the language that, we speak and how we've been educated here in the room. And then my advisor reached out and just wanted to make sure that I did get, the information, and I told him yes. And he reminded me that I am to attend a webinar on the 29th. And he said, do not miss it. And I said, don't worry, I won't.
We know you won't.
Awesome.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. And it's all because of y'all.
And happy birthday. You ain't slick.
Oh, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday.
Yes, it's her birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday.
I love you, sis. I love you more. And I love all of y'all. And just to reiterate, I know I've said it before, and anybody that's listening and not heard and you think Freedom Fighter is talking yiggity yak, trust and believe. My banker told me specifically, put them bonds away. So if you got a banker telling you that, come on now. Come on. Put it away.
Forget.
Yeah, pay attention. Because what is coming down is the real deal. It's the truth. It's the truth. You done heard yickety yak, and we all done heard yickety yak. Don't you get tired of it?
Whack.
Wiggity whack, diggity dak, and all that stuff. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet because I done had a couple.
Oh Lord, yeah. it's her birthday, so she didn't have a
That's
cup.
right.
Oh my Lord, have mercy.
Yeah,
Oh my
but I
goodness.
love everybody. I love you guys
All
for
right.
real.
We
Sniper,
love you, sis. Happy
hey,
birthday.
yeah.
We
Enjoy the
love you
rest of
back.
your
Thank you.
weekend.
Yes.
I'm in
Oh,
part
I
two
know you,
tomorrow.
girl. I already know you. This part, that's no part three. You don't have part one
Yeah,
yesterday.
exactly. Part 3 tomorrow. But it's
Oh,
all good. Thanks,
we love
guys.
you.
All right.
Love you
We
more.
love you, young lady. Yes, ma'am. All right. King Ram, you want to take us home? Anything you want to add before we get out of here?
Not necessarily. I think it was a
Okay.
jam-packed, informative night tonight. You had to reiterate some things that, some of us already knew, but we have the closer that we get to the ending, like you said, more people are
Yeah.
waking up. So we're
Yeah.
finding ourselves having to go back to the basics, having to go back to kind
Mm-hmm.
of like reiterating things that maybe
Mm-hmm.
some of us know. And it's good
Mm-hmm.
to always hear, but to
Mm-hmm.
be able to come back, even with the room being read only, and coming back
Mm-hmm.
and pulling one with us to
Right.
success,
There
coming
you
out
go.
of the delusion, the great delusion, and coming to a path of success and
Mm-hmm.
empowerment and taking your power back. Because every
Mm-hmm.
time you delete yourself out of those groups and unsubscribe and everything, you're taking a piece of your power back. These
Right.
people literally love to siphon people's energies and
Mm.
money and pockets, but
Mm-hmm.
your
Mm-hmm.
spiritual, your essence is being stripped every time you
Mm-hmm.
put your hope in man. And the Bible already tells us about that. And you
Mm-hmm.
guys have completely put your whole being into, as
Mm.
far as this investment, into these
Mm-hmm.
gurus. And
Mm.
it's time to take your
Mm-hmm.
power back. You don't have
There
much
you go.
time. We are have a window of opportunity here. So make the best of it. Diversify. Put down what you know is not going to work. We've shown it to you multiple times, including tonight.
Mm-hmm.
These bonds are
Mm-hmm.
fake.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to do anything but get you in trouble if you don't heed the warning that God
Mm-hmm.
is using Freedom Fighter and Goldilocks and Wally to give you. They're giving you a warning. We are warning you that it's
Mm-hmm.
getting close to time. These gurus are being watched, and you don't want to be caught up in that mess.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
And I
all I
want to
have
I
to
want to
say.
give a quick shout out to Nova Knickers, she dropped the gem with those um ZIM collectibles. No, I don't know if Nova Knickers, are you on? I think I saw Nova Knickers. Are you here? I thought I saw you early. There you go. How you doing, my beautiful lady with the funny farm? You can unmute.
There we go. I figured it out.
How you doing? It's so good to hear your voice. How
Hey.
you doing, young lady?
I'm doing good.
Thank you so much for that gem. You remember when you dropped it in the room a while back?
I do, but I don't remember what I said.
No, about the from the ZIM bonds from eBay.
Oh, yeah.
You're
Yeah,
the one that shared it.
Well, you shared it?
Yeah, you didn't see. Oh,
Oh.
you came to you must have came to the call late. But yeah, I shared it in the room on the call tonight. So I just wanted
Girl,
to
you
give you a
done
shout
saved
out.
somebody's life, girl. You possibly
Yeah.
done saved somebody's life.
So I just wanted to
Oh,
thank you for yeah.
my husband was listening, but I wasn't because I was feeding a baby rabbit. So
Oh, okay. Tell hubby we said
I was
hello.
okay.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much. All right, beautiful people. This is it. We're good. I hope that we say real quick, folks. Pray for these gurus. And just find it in your heart. I know I will. Just pray for them. And try not to pile on the weasel. I said try not to. So try not to try not to pile on. Just pray for him and the rest of these folks that God will show them some sort of grace and mercy. But
Yes.
you got to do the right thing for yourself and your families, folks. All right. We love you all. Everyone have a good night. Take care.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR people from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RV GCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RV GCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter.